How's it going? It's Khoa here. In this video, I want to give a book review called Getting Started in Property Investing for Dummies. This is written by Bruce Brammall. He is a financial advisor, mortgage broker, and personal finance journalist. And also written by Tyson and Robert S. Griswold. So this book, basically the summary is that you can decide if property investing is the right choice for you. You can spot the best deals on financing. You can pick the right property in the right location, and ultimately you can understand your obligations as a landlord. So basically it's a crash course on how you can make money in property investing. So one of my goals in my 40s is to build a very strong property portfolio, and to be honest, I haven't been investing too much time into learning a lot about real estate, to be honest, because I've been focusing a lot on sales, lead generation, and digital marketing and so forth, because I find that skill is really important. But I do also know that it's really important to learn a lot more about real estate. So I do know a tiny bit, but not as much as I should. So I bought this book a few months ago. Went to the bookstore, bought this. I paid about this was $20. This cost me about $20. But yeah, it's a really great starting point. So let's have a look at the index, shall we? So you've got part one is understanding real estate as an investment. So one thing I love about these For Dummies books is that they really break down the concepts very so they break it down so it's easy for you to understand, read, and digest. So there's little sections called tips, and there's action points as well, and they give you a little warning saying this part is technical. It's really easy to read. I love it. And the way it's written, it's easy for you to really understand, so it's very clear. So this is a really great starting point. So I found it's a really great read. So the first chapter, it talks about the different ways in which you can actually earn income as real estate. So for example, it introduces the concept of real estate against other investments. So if you look at the stock market versus the real estate, the stock market, if you buy a share at a certain price, let's say it's $1 and it goes up by $10, then obviously you made $9 profit, right? And then that's only if you sell. But the thing with real estate is that you can actually, and the thing with shares is that you can't really do much about that. It just goes up and down, and that's it. There's nothing that you can do to actually increase the value of that share price. You just buy, and hopefully it goes up or down, depending on whether you're going long or short, right? But as real estate, the cool thing about real estate is that you can take a certain amount of money and you can invest it into a piece of property, and you can do things with it that can appreciate in value, such as if you buy a rundown property, then you can invest more money into it and fix it up, and then you can sell it for a nice profit. So let's say that property was worth about 100k, and sorry, you paid 100k for it, and you fix it up and it's now worth 200k. You just picked up 100k. So therefore it's the concept of control of your investment. And other good things is that investment in real estate, it's not really where you just lose your shirt straight away. Like, it's really gradual, slow progression in terms of appreciating in value. You can make a mistake, but then eventually you just sell your real estate, and it take a long time for you to make that mistake, if you know what I mean. But with stocks, like, it just goes up and down, and it can really take a toll on your mind and your well-being and so forth. But with real estate, it's not like a stock market. It goes up and down really quickly. It's very slow. But yeah, there's a lot of great advantages of investing in real estate. So part two talks about financing, raising capital, and sourcing loans. So in this chapter, it talks about different ways in which you can get investment loans. So you can go to banks, you can talk to different buyers and so forth. You can get, there's different ways in which you can raise the funds to get your property. And then part three talks about finding and operating properties. So it talks about the different locations of which you can invest in. So it's all about the location. As you know, with property, you got to find the right area that has the potential to rise, and it gives you an idea in which areas to invest in. So for example, if you look at certain areas that's got trains, good commute areas, and pretty close to the city as well, good schools, good amenities and so forth, then and those areas have a good community, and you look around the houses and they're not run down, they just look pretty average, they're pretty solid locations, right? So those are the good places which you can invest your money, and you're pretty sure that that area is going to be good. Obviously you have to look at the other operating expenses, such as the ongoing cost of real estate, such as the maintenance cost, landlording if you're becoming a landlord, and there's also talk about building a portfolio as well. So certain areas, a lot of people make the mistake of investing in one certain particular area. So you might invest in just your own area, your own neighborhood, and that's because what you know, right? But the authors of this book recommends is that you should look at outside your location, because there is a lot of great deals. So for example, right now in Sydney, the property prices are really expensive. They're over the 1 million mark and so forth. In Brisbane, the property price is about 300k mark. In Perth, it's about the same. So obviously the Sydney market is a lot more higher price, but if you take that million, you can buy 2 properties in Brisbane rather than 1 property in Sydney. So it's, you know, if you're just only looking in one location and that's the only location that you know, you're not really considered as an investor. A true investor looks around, you know, and you can manage it by getting property managers and so forth. So for example, when I moved over to Sydney, there was no one really managing my house, so I had to actually hire a property manager. So I've been using this property manager for about 4 years so far, and he's managing my property, and I've never met the guy before. It's just purely online, and he just sends me money in my bank account, sends me reports, and that's it. So that's how building portfolio, you need to utilize a good particular resources, and don't be afraid to get out of your neighborhood. 4 is the parts of 10, so there's 10 ways in which you can increase property's return. So it's a really good way in which you can just you know, get into the field of property investing, get into it, learn about it, and you know, open your mind about how you can build a property portfolio. I always think that you should start small. You know, start with, just try and aim to get 1 new property per year, and at the end of 10 years you've got 10 properties. How cool is that? And then you can sell all that, buy 1 property, and just live off the rent, whatever it is, it's all paid off. You know, that's a long-term strategy, but you know, it can work, right? And then yeah, like, just think about it. And there's other people that says that a lot of wealthy people, they all have a collection of properties, and that's what you got to do. You got to have your own set of properties. So I think that this is a really fantastic book. I love this book, Getting Started in Property Investing. There's a lot of courses and stuff and people out there that's teaching you how to invest in properties, but you can get really confused because, you know, I see a lot of gurus talking about property investing, but they've got their own agenda. They want you to sign up to that 10 grand, 5 grand course, and they're just trying to generate money so they can buy their own properties, and they just only give you a tiny bit of information that you can probably get in this, right? So start with the basics first. This is only 20 bucks, not too expensive. It's a great book, easy to read. You get through it in about, I don't know, for about a couple hours or something, 15 minutes per day, you'll finish it. And yeah, you know, fantastic book, highly recommend it. You can check it out on Amazon. Go check it out, thanks.